Dr. Shane. I thank all of you for joining me on African American Marriage Counseling with Dr. Shane. 2022 is here. We have to say goodbye and get some lessons learned from 2001. So I know it's a holiday. I'm going to give you three quick questions I asked to get this year off right and to put our plan in place. So, first question, what? What did you learn from last year? What were your lessons learned? I'll be honest with you. One of the lessons I relearned was to be more transparent. Not that I'm not transparent or disingenuous, but sometimes not to hurt someone and their spouse. We don't share information with them thinking we're protecting them. No, we're protecting us. They probably already know it anyways. So, what was your lesson you learned from last year? What was the one thing that you two learned that you could keep doing that made you a stronger couple that strengthened your marriage? So, the second question, question number two that I'm going to ask you, what is the gap between the marriage you have and the marriage you said I do to? You heard that right. What's the gap between the marriage that you have and the marriage that you said I do to? I want to make this your second question. I want you to be very honest. It could be emotional, it could be spiritual, it could be economic, it could be intimacy, it could be sex, it could be trust. Whatever that gap is, I just want you to list what's causing that gap. What's the gap? Boy, I thought it'd be to ever and till we die, but lately I've been having some thoughts that ain't so consistent with that. Just be honest with yourself about it. The next thing I want to ask you, so that's part A of two. What's the gap? Part B of two is to close that gap. What skills do you need to get? What skills do you need to get? So a lot of people come to me and say, we need communication skills, which is fair. 60% of the people that come to see me do. Reality, they need more trust. They need skills to build trust. Because think about it. If you don't trust the messenger, it doesn't matter how clear or well articulated their position is. So I want you to identify, boy, do we give each other the benefit of the doubt? So what skills do we need? Do we need communication? Do we need trust building? Do we need to figure out how to jump our intimacy? Do we need to manage our time better? Do we need to make each other a priority? Do we need to learn each other's love language? Better yet, master or at least become fluent in it. What skills do you need? So, first question is, what did you learn from last year? The second question is, what's the gap between the marriage you said I do to and the one that you have? And part B of that, so that's part A of two. Part B of that is, what skills do you need to get? One of the things I work with 5,500 plus couples. One of the things that I learned is most couples don't suffer from a lack of will. Most couples, believe it or not, have the will to make it. They suffer from a lack of skills. They don't have the skills to fix it, and they need to figure out what skills do they need to develop. The third thing, I want you to tell me what's your plan to get those skills and to close the gap between the marriage you said I do to and the marriage you have. What is your plan? What is your plan? You know, we do New Year's resolutions about everything. We're going to lose weight. We're going to go to church more this year. We're going to be better givers, better servants. We're not drinking. We're not smoking. Whatever the case may be, we're going to save more. We're going to invest more. Or we're going to travel more. We're going to have more fun. I want you to put together a plan for your marriage because planning to fail is failing to plan. And you have to be as intentional about your marriage and your relationship as you are every other area in life. So those are the three things. And I also want you, when you're on number three, to say, what's your budget? I know that sounds odd, right? What's your budget? If I ask you what your budget is for your automobile allowance, you probably could tell me pretty closely. Ask you what your housing budget is. You probably could tell me. You probably have a budget around most things, but you don't have a budget around your marriage. So, what's your budget? What is your budget? Because if things are important to us, we invest in them. We invest in them. So, ask yourself, what's your budget and what's it going to take to close the gap between the marriage you said I do to and the marriage that you have. Anyways, it's Dr. Shane. I thank you for joining me. I want you to invite other people into this community. We are building, we are growing, and let them invest in their marriage and close the gap as well. Make it a great day. I will be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon in the Situation Room, where we talk about various marital situations that may be similar to your own and what do you do to fix them. Anyways, it's Dr. Shane. Make it a great day. Happy New Year.